What happens to your body after 70? What if I told you there are clear signs that can reveal how long you might live? You might already be feeling some of these signs, but not realizing their significance. In this video, we'll talk about 7 signs that can give you insight into how long you'll live after turning 70. What are these signs? Stick around to the end, because some of them are easy to overlook, but they could have a huge impact on your future. Every year after 70 feels even more precious. Time keeps moving, and our bodies are sending signals about what's ahead. Some people continue to feel strong, active, and healthy in their 70s, while others start to experience a decline, losing energy, facing health issues, or even struggling with balance. These signs are there, and sometimes they're quite subtle, but they can reveal how long you might live. Let's explore these signs together.
Sign 1. Your walking speed. One of the most powerful indicators of how long you might live after 70 isn't found in your DNA, medical records, or diet. It's something much simpler. Your walking speed. Studies have shown that people who maintain a steady, brisk walking pace in their 70s and beyond tend to live longer than those who slow down significantly. This is because walking speed is directly linked to overall health, muscle strength, cardiovascular function, and even brain health. For example, let's look at 2 people. John, who walks every morning, maintains a steady pace and doesn't struggle when crossing the street or climbing stairs. His movements are fluid, balanced, and confident. Then there's Robert, who used to be active but has slowed down significantly. He struggles to keep up, takes frequent breaks, and feels unsteady on his feet. John's pace suggests that his body is still functioning well, while Robert's declining speed might indicate underlying health issues. Don't ignore changes in your walking speed. It can provide crucial insight into your longevity. Sign 2. Grip strength. Believe it or not, the strength of your handshake can reveal a lot about your future. Research has found that grip strength is one of the clearest indicators of overall vitality in older adults. A firm, steady grip suggests strong muscles, good circulation, and a well-functioning nervous system. On the other hand, a weak or declining grip can be an early sign of muscle loss, frailty, and a higher risk of health complications. Take Robert, a 78-year-old man who always prided himself on his firm handshake. He stayed active, lifted weights, and had no problem opening jars or carrying groceries. But over time, his grip strength started to decline. Small tasks like twisting a bottle cap or holding a heavy bag became difficult. This loss of strength was a red flag for muscle loss, which can lead to falls, injuries, and a shorter life expectancy. If you notice your grip weakening, start incorporating hand exercises like squeezing a tennis ball or using hand grippers to maintain your strength. Sign 3. Your ability to stand on one leg. Balance isn't something most people think about until they start losing it. However, your ability to stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds is a strong predictor of how long you'll live. Researchers have found that those who struggle with balance are more likely to experience falls, injuries, and even cognitive decline. Meanwhile, people who maintain good balance into their 70s and beyond tend to live longer, healthier lives. For example, let's look at Carol and Nancy. Carol has always been active, doing yoga and walking daily. She can easily lift one foot off the ground for several seconds without wobbling. On the other hand, Nancy hasn't paid much attention to her balance. When she tries to stand on one leg, she immediately starts tipping over and has to grab onto something to steady herself. Loss of balance isn't just inconvenient. It's a warning sign that your coordination, muscle strength, and brain function might be declining. If you notice that you're stumbling more often, start practicing simple balance exercises like standing on one foot or walking heel to toe. Sign 4. Your sleeping patterns. How well you sleep at night is a strong indicator of how long you might live. Sleep is when your body repairs itself, strengthens the immune system, and clears toxins from the brain. Studies have shown that people over 70 who maintain consistent, high-quality sleep tend to live longer and healthier lives. In contrast, those who struggle with poor sleep are at a higher risk of memory decline, heart disease, and weakened immunity. Take Henry and Bill, both in their mid-70s. Henry has a consistent bedtime, sleeps about 7 hours each night, and wakes up feeling refreshed. Bill, on the other hand, struggles with restless nights, frequently wakes up, and has difficulty falling back asleep. Over time, Henry's body continues to function well, his mind stays sharp, and his energy remains steady. But Bill starts to experience brain fog, daytime fatigue, and changes in his blood pressure, all linked to poor sleep quality. If you're having trouble sleeping, don't ignore it. Poor sleep can be linked to stress, poor diet, lack of exercise, or even undiagnosed health conditions like sleep apnea. Try to improve your sleep quality by sticking to a bedtime routine, limiting screen time before bed, and avoiding heavy meals at night. Sign 5. Your appetite and eating habits. How you eat after 70 is one of the strongest indicators of how long you might live. A healthy appetite and a well-balanced diet keep your body strong, your immune system resilient, and your energy levels high. On the other hand, a sudden loss of appetite or poor eating habits can signal underlying health issues and accelerate aging. Consider Margaret and Susan, both 74 years old. Margaret enjoys her meals, eats a variety of fresh, whole foods, and maintains a steady weight. She looks forward to preparing meals and feels energized throughout the day. Susan, however, has noticed a decline in her appetite. She skips meals, relies on processed foods, and has unintentionally lost weight over the past year. What she doesn't realize is that her lack of appetite could be a sign that her body isn't absorbing nutrients properly, which weakens her muscles, slows down her metabolism, and affects her immune system. If you notice a change in your appetite, it's time to pay attention. Eating well after 70 isn't just about staying full. It's about giving your body the nutrients it needs to function properly. Sign 6. Your ability to handle stress. How you manage stress after 70 can tell you a lot about how long you'll live. Chronic stress doesn't just affect your mood. It weakens your immune system, raises your risk of heart disease, and accelerates aging. People who know how to manage stress effectively tend to stay healthier, more active, and mentally sharp well into their later years. Take John and Richard, both 76 years old. John faces challenges, like unexpected expenses and health scares, but he handles them calmly with deep breathing exercises and staying socially engaged. He doesn't dwell on problems longer than necessary. Richard, however, holds on to stress. He constantly worries about things beyond his control, feels overwhelmed by small frustrations, and often gets stuck in negative thought patterns. Over time, this constant stress wears on his body. His blood pressure rises, his sleep suffers, and his energy levels drop. If you often feel tense, try stress management techniques like mindfulness, exercise, or deep breathing to help lower your stress levels and improve your overall health. Sign 7. Your social connections. Strong relationships are one of the clearest indicators of how long you might live after 70. Studies consistently show that people with strong social connections, whether through family, friendships, or community involvement, tend to live longer and healthier lives. Loneliness, on the other hand, has been linked to higher risks of heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, and even early mortality. Let's look at Alana and Barbara, both 78 years old. Alana has an active social life, regularly connects with old friends, participates in a local book club, and enjoys spending time with family. She looks forward to conversations, laughs often, and feels connected to the people around her. Barbara, however, spends most of her time alone. She has lost touch with many of her friends and rarely reaches out to her family. Over time, she starts feeling isolated, and her health begins to suffer. Staying connected to others has a direct impact on your physical health. If you feel isolated, try reaching out to an old friend or joining a group with shared interests to improve your social well-being. Conclusion. Now that you know these 7 signs, take a moment to reflect on where you stand. Are you moving through life with strength and confidence, or have you noticed subtle changes that might be warning signs? The good news is that most of these factors, walking speed, grip strength, balance, sleep quality, eating habits, stress management, and social connections, are things you can improve. Your future isn't set in stone, and the choices you make today can greatly impact the quality and length of your life. If you've recognized areas where you need to improve, don't wait for a doctor's advice. Start now. Take more walks, strengthen your muscles, prioritize good sleep, stay socially connected, and find ways to manage stress. The goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live well. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below about which sign you've noticed in your own life. Thank you for watching, and here's to living a long, healthy, and fulfilling life.